Welcome back to the Hotshot Haven, boy. Y'all see me sweat for a reason, man. We back with some more informative content, man. We doing water separating fuel filter today, man. A little how-to, man. Let y'all see a little bit more of the maintenance aspect of how you make $1 by saving $1. Next on the Hotshot Haven, y'all already know it. Yep. Go check us out on Instagram, Nova Enterprise LLC. Oh man, there's a lot of more stuff going on there. You might not get to see on the page, man. Also, the 1 hour content still dropping out live and popping, man. $40 cash out, $ JBUTLER, leave your name, number in the 4 line. Hey, and I'm gonna promptly get back with you. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate all the support, man. Y'all know what I say about hating. At the same time, we're gonna keep 100. Let's go. Alright, yeah. On the last live, we talked about fuel filter maintenance with this winter diesel fuel and how to keep the truck going. So I thought I'd bring you a video of me putting, the fuel water separator and the fuel filter, replacing those on the truck and going through the procedures and give y'all the tools. So, first things first, we're going to get to the parts needed. We're going with a 33255 fuel filter from MicroGuard and a WF10112 also from MicroGuard. Now, this is a much debated topic, and I just say it like this. On the 2 Dodges, I ran just about every brand of filter you could think of. And to be honest with you, these filters, for the time that we keep them on there, they keep the flow up, they don't clog up very easily, and they are some good filters. So next, first thing we're gonna do is get our drain pan and probably a piece of cardboard or something, put it under our truck for the splash that's gonna occur, and place that drain pan parallel with the dry shaft almost by the U-joint so you can catch this diesel. Next, we're gonna go over the tools. You need an adjustable wrench. You need a 1/2-inch drive ratchet with a 1 1/8 inch socket on it, and a 3.5 to 5-inch filter wrench. Okay, so we're gonna get under the truck. First thing we're gonna do is drain the fuel water separator. Nothing hard about it. It has a petcock on the end. You're going to turn it counterclockwise and open it and let that run down. And it will hit the dry shaft. It's going to run down and hit the dry shaft, splash a little bit, and then start to run. And you can adjust your pan to catch it. Okay. Now, if you want to look and just be particular about what you're seeing right now, y'all see that blue magic on there, that straight drop coming up out that filter, boy, with that light blue color on it, boy. We still got it around here, boy, the south. But, alright, next thing you're going to do is, while that petcock's still open and everything, trying to get a little bit more out, you're going to disconnect the fuel and water separator sensor pigtail from it's up there on the frame. You'll be able to see it. You can press it in with a pick, but more than likely you could just squeeze it with your finger and pull it out. Okay, so we got that disconnected. Now the next thing we're going to do is actually separate the fuel and water sensor from the actual filter housing. I like to do this with it still on the truck because these can be a little tight sometimes. And by a little tight, I mean the O-ring will seat and will seal and create a bond where, it's not that easy to take it off of the sensor once you get it off the truck. So you're going to want to use that mount as leverage to get a grip on that fuel and water sensor and actually go and untighten that while it's on the truck. So once we get that off, we're gonna go straight to loosening the actual filter itself. And be aware that some shops really do over tighten these. This is not to be super tight. And what I want you to understand is that this has to come off every 10,000 miles. So this is not a loose fit, but it's snug, but it's not bare tight. So you will see that the reason I want you to use a 3 to 5-inch oil filter wrench is because you get the maximum amount of leverage by pulling on the bigger part of the filter. Avoid filter wrenches that only engage the bottom of the wrench, i.e. the same filter wrench you use for your oil. Don't try and use it for this. It's going to make the job harder. You're just going to tear the filter wrench up. But loosen that. Like I said, you don't have to retighten this extra tight, man. That's one of the biggest mistakes you'll make because these threads are brass that this screws into, and the other threads on the filter are stainless steel. So you don't want to gouge those threads. You don't want to cross thread anything. You don't want to mess that filter housing and that mounting bracket and everything. You don't want to have to buy that because that's a pretty good price part. So what we're gonna do is proceed to actually get the entire filter off. We're gonna take the filter off, and once we get the filter off, we'll see, and we'll show you on the bench as we prepare to put the new filter on what we have to do. All right, got your old fuel filter, fuel water separator, if you will. You're gonna unscrew cap off the end. There may be a little spillage of fuel come out of the end. We're gonna keep this kind of horizontal for the time being, trying to limit that a little bit. But you're gonna unscrew this. Take that out. A little spillage. It's about level. I'm gonna drop this in my pan. Alright. Now we'll notice that there's an O-ring here on the filter, and there's an O-ring here on the fuel and water sensor. You want to remove this O-ring. Your new filter will be supplied with both O-rings. Alright. You're going to use a small flathead screwdriver or a pick tool. Get up under that O-ring, pull it up like that. Pop it off. That's trash. Alright. You go get the new O-ring. Got a little diesel on your glove, get a little diesel from around there. Lube the O-ring up. Lube that O-ring up so it makes a nice seal and doesn't get pinched when you screw it back in. Lube it up. Lube it up. Alright. Simply slide it on. Simply so. Bottom it out at the bottom. Your new canister. Fill the water separator. Alright. Your freshly installed O-ring. Screw that back into the bottom. And what I like to do is I like to pre-install this stuff all as a unit. So we're gonna grab our oil filter wrench, slip it on, slip it on, and get our adjustable wrench. And tighten that down. Like I said, you just want to squeeze, you want to tighten it enough to squeeze that O-ring. It doesn't have to be extremely tight, because remember, you got to take this back off. And that's another point that I want to make about the installation of the whole thing. Remember, we're going to be changing these about every 10,000 miles, or every 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that at the most. This stuff got to come back off, so don't put it back on like it never has come off. Now, top O-ring, like say you got a little diesel fuel already on your glove, just go around that O-ring and lube it up, lube it up, lube it up. Place that O-ring in the groove, push it down in the groove, all the way around. It's in there, it's not going out, it's not coming out. Alright, so when you get ready to install this, one thing you want to be certain of, this filter has a stainless top on it with stainless thread. This is brass. You do not want to cross thread this. So you want to start it off counterclockwise as you push up on it, because there is a spring-loaded diaphragm right there. It's an anti-drain back, and you have to compress that diaphragm in order to reach the threads. So you're gonna want to push up on it and get it started counterclockwise, and then screw it on. You do not want to cross thread this. Get it snug by hand, and you'll come back and give about a half a turn with your filter wrench. Remember, you do not want to tighten this up really tight. This is one of the hardest filters on the truck to get off, and it seals itself well. You got to understand this is part of the low pressure side of the fuel system. So there's no need to crank this. Once it's tight, give it about a half turn. You have just compressed that O-ring and you're good. It does not have to be extremely tight. Now reinstall your sensor for your water and fuel separator sensor, your water and fuel sensor. Plug it back in. Snap. Okay. Make sure your petcock is closed securely, and you're good to go. Alright. First thing you want to do after you place your drain pan under your front differential, if you have four-wheel drive, is to open the petcock. Phillips head screwdriver. Straight down in there, quarter turn to the left, opens the petcock. You're gonna allow that to drain. Check your drain pan, make sure it's positioned right. Then you're gonna take your 1/2-inch drive, I repeat, 1/2-inch drive, not 3/8-inch drive, 1/2-inch drive ratchet with an 1 1/8 socket on it, 1 1/8. Put it on there, and we're gonna go counterclockwise. It will have a sticky type of feel to it as far as taking it out because there is an O-ring in there. That O-ring has bonded and sealed. So yeah, there will be tension on it. Beyond what you think should be on, there's some tension on it. But you don't have to tighten this up very tight either. About 25 Newton meters or something like that. 25 inch pounds, sorry about that. Unscrew that cap. Start to pick up on it. And there is your fuel filter. And get your same screwdriver and come up under the flat portion at the top. Right there, right up. Up, and it is free. It may separate into two parts. Don't worry about it, just get the other part out, pull it out. Not super dirty, but hey, it's time. Come on out there, dump it out. Come on the battery up. Now, around the edge, if you'll notice that dark brown red looking O-ring, we're gonna get a flathead screwdriver. We're gonna do like we did last time and lever up on that, get underneath it. And simply get it off. And like I said, you got a little diesel on your hand already. The new filter is supplied with an O-ring. We're gonna get that O-ring out. That O-ring. And we're gonna lube that O-ring up with a little diesel. Off the fuel filter. Make sure we don't install that dry. We're gonna replace that O-ring. Go around the top of it. Install it all the way around. And it should roll on there. You'll run your finger around the edge of it. That will make it flip back over. If it happens to flip, it will unflip. You don't want it twisted. Okay. Now, we're gonna take our fresh clean filter. Fresh clean filter. And we're gonna pay attention. We're gonna pay attention that this oval area right here goes across the front of the truck, not front to back, but side to side when we put it in upside down. We're gonna orient it the right way, line it up on the pipe that's in there, push it straight down, straight down. Take an opportunity, wipe it off a little bit. This is the dirty side of the filter, so it's gonna go right into the filter, so it's not gonna hit the pump, but still, we wipe it off. All right. Now the final process of this is to replace your cap. So like I said, we're gonna start it backwards, so we know it's flush on the threads. And we're gonna start to screw it down, and it's going to engage that O-ring. Start to. And once we feel the resistance of the O-ring starting to be squeezed, we'll go back to our wrench. Our ratchet wrench, inch and an eighth. That on there. See, we're tightening it back up. Like I said, you don't have to make this extremely tight. As you can hear, that kind of low-pitched noise, that's the O-ring spinning as it's being compressed, and because we put diesel on it, it's not tearing. That's a good thing. All right. All right. Feel the O-ring has compressed, and that is tight. Now we want to proceed to close our pit cock. Don't forget to do that. Close it. Quarter turn to the right. Boom. It's closed. Because you gotta remember, we have two filters. We have a fuel and water separator underneath the truck, and we also have a fuel filter in the front of the truck, and both of those have reservoirs. So that's one, all the way off, all the way on right before you crank it to the run position. 3. And you'll take time after you get to about your third key cycle, go check under the truck and make sure you have no leaks. What we're gonna do now. By the time you get to your fourth key cycle, the fuel and water separator should be filled. It should be filled. Fill. And when you do this, sometimes it still has air left in the system, and it'll crank and run for about 3 or 4 seconds and die. Don't be alarmed. Just go through this step again. You're priming the pumps, you're purging the air. You just let a lot of air in the system when you drop those filters. All that diesel came out, it was replaced by air. So that's gonna be a big thing with that. Like I said, it's probably about to fill for SIG 1 right here. So
on your filter 6-1, we know the front filter should be full, so we're gonna go up there. We're gonna go up here and check our work. Gonna look down in there, make sure we're not leaking, then come away from around the edges. Nothing coming out the petcock. We're gonna remove our little tools and trash away from under the hood because we're about to start this thing. Like I said, it may crank and run for a few seconds and die. Just know that there's air still in the line and you need to just repeat the priming procedure again. That's what we're doing. We're priming the fuel system. She's not ready. Point seen, money gone. Hey man, y'all, hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. Hey, stay tuned. We got more coming on Hotshot.